Hey friends, I just want to let you know I am live right now on Twitter Spaces, about to be interviewed by Pam and Peg. And I'm going to do my best because it's on Twitter Spaces, so I'm going to have to use my phone. It's not going to be the best sound quality, and I apologize, but that's what we're doing. Oh, you're not going to be able to hear it. Oh, shoot. Shoot. This might not work. This might not work, you guys. Hello? Can you guys hear me okay? Perfect. I am, you know what, I am so honored that you guys asked me. I mean, can I just tell you, like, in all the VFriends spaces ever over the last year, this is my first time being invited as a guest.
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm like super excited about it.
I am,
so
you know what,
I'm very happy.
I'm so honored that you guys asked me. I mean, can I just tell you, like, in all the VFriends spaces ever over the last year, this is my first time being invited as a guest.
Wow.
So I was like super excited about it. So
I'm
happy.
I am too.
So Sarah was the start of me getting my voice in the Web3 space. I bet you all did not know that. She invited me. I think I found the vaginas. I think I came across it and I giggled because being a good Irish Catholic girl, I was like, oh, there's a naughty word. And Sarah said, we're on Clubhouse. And I'm like, yeah. And I was so new to this. I did not know my arse from my elbow. And she said, I'm on. I'll send you an invite. And she sent me an invite. And every time I go into Clubhouse, which is not as often now as I used to, but I think it's getting much better. And Twitter Spaces sometimes can be tricky. But when I'm going in there, I always see at the bottom, Sara Jones invited you. And I'm like, yes, she did. Yes, she did. And that's what started all of this. So totally indebted to this amazing human. Cannot wait to hear her story today. Just beside myself. And it's like when you meet people, you just know. If you know, you know. It's like everybody in this room. And I'm gonna fucking address the elephant too in the room, right? The vaginas. What is going on? I have offered my Liam Neeson skills to Alyssa, which she politely declined. But I want to know what's happening because without the vaginas, listen, all my friends are there. I'm on the other side.
Yes,
of the world.
dear.
What the fuck? I don't want to be left out, cast off, cast away like Tom Hanks. I need my vaginas. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm just going to say that and then move on.
Okay.
So Miss Sarah.
So I'm from New Jersey, and as you know,
yes,
or maybe people don't know, Gary Vee is from New Jersey as well. So I've been following this man like forever and ever and ever. I actually remember seeing him on, first off, I do not even use Snapchat because I suck at using Snapchat, but of all places, that's where I was following him. And when I was following him, he would like post like 722, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so cool. And then he was being interviewed on the local radio show, Elvis Duran in the Morning Show. And I was like, this guy is dropping F-bombs left and right. And I am like so here for it. And from that moment on, I was like, all right, I'm interested in what he had to say. So I honestly don't know how I literally tripped, fell, and stumbled into Web3. That is exactly how I'm going to describe it because that is how it totally is for me even to this day. But
interested in what he had to say.
I think I just remember he posted something on Instagram because I'm like all over Instagram. And I was like, this thing sounds kind of fun and cool, so let me do that. And it was at a moment where I was like, I am very comfortable getting out of my comfort zone. I'm just going to go ahead and do it and see if I can figure it out. And I joined the Discord, and I'm not a stranger to Discord because of my gaming background, so I, breezed right into there. But then I was just like deer in headlights. So I'm sure like anybody in the Web3 space can probably attest anytime you walk into a Discord, every time you you walk
gaming
into one.
background, so
Every
I,
time you enter
breezed
a
right into
Web3
there.
Discord, you probably
But
just
then
want to
I
walk
was just
back
like
the fuck
deer in
out and say, you
headlights.
know what, I'm
So
done.
I'm sure like
So
anybody in the web
that's kind of
Web3
actually how
space
I
can
felt as
probably
somebody who
attest,
actually had
anytime you
exposure
walk
to
into
Discord. And
Discord or walk
I just
into
remember
every
being
time you
welcomed
walk
by
into one.
Post of
Every
Verone.
time you enter
And
a Web3
there was a
Discord,
couple
you
other
probably
people.
just want to like
Actually,
walk
it
back the
was
fuck out
Lab
and say, you
Chick.
know what, I'm
And
done.
she wasn't even a mod.
So
And I just remember people
that's
saying,
kind of
oh, yeah,
actually
go
how
to
I
this
felt as somebody
channel,
who actually
you know,
had
do all of
exposure
this
to
stuff
Discord.
and, you know,
I just
download
remember
this
being
app and that
welcomed by
app, you know,
Post of Verone,
Coinbase and MetaMask. And I had no friggin'
there
idea
was
what
a
I was
couple other
doing, but I
people.
just went with it. And I
Actually,
was
it
like,
was
oh my
Lab
God, that was
Chick,
so
and
easy.
she wasn't even a
And I was
mod.
like,
And
I
I just
can't
remember
wait to
people
get this
saying, oh yeah,
V-Friend
go to
thing
this
because I
channel,
have 10
you know, do
hot
all
ass
this
dollars that
stuff
I'm going to
and, you
spend
know,
on this shit.
download
And I'm going to get
this
some
app and that app,
Ethereum.
you know, Coinbase
And
and
that's
MetaMask, and I
how
had
it
no friggin'
started for
idea
me.
what I
And
was
I
doing, but I
realized
just went
very,
with it.
very
And I was like,
quickly,
oh
I
my
got
God, that was so
very,
easy.
very
And I was
quickly
like, I
educated
can't
that
wait to get this
$10 was only
V-Friend
going to
thing
get me a
because
few
I
pieces
have
of bazooka
10
gum, and
hot
I
ass
called it a
dollars that
day.
I'm
And
gonna
that's kind
spend
of
on
how it
this
started
shit.
going
And
for
I'm gonna
me.
get some Ethereum. And that's how it started for me. And I realized very, very quickly, I got very, very quickly educated that $10 was only going to get me a few pieces of bazooka gum, and I called it a day. And that's kind of how it started going for me.
Oh, bless, bless, and you know, and it's an experience. Okay, it is an
Hey,
experience,
Chaotic.
and everybody
I'm
has
muted
their
on here.
own personal experience in the space.
Can you
And
hear?
you're
Can
not
you hear
afraid
this?
to
Okay.
call it out, Sarah. You just fucking say it, and I think that honesty and transparency in your, I mean, you're awesome. If anybody doesn't know, we did a homage. I must share the photo. Brenda, maybe you could find the photograph. We were traveling home from VCon and we found a Dunkin' Donuts
Good.
at the airport. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Sarah does a regular Dunkin' Donuts run and has her lovely
I saw that. That was
coffees.
awesome.
I don't think I've never seen you eating a donut, but I've seen you having the coffees. And we thought, right, we're going to have a Sara Jones coffee. And Brenda took a photograph in the airport. I think it was LAX. I'm not sure.
Oh man,
But that was our
what
homage
inspired
to
that? That
you.
is a damn fine
I saw
question.
that. That was awesome.
I love
Because I actually was thinking about this today. Because I honestly, it's been a while since I've really had like a Dunkin' experience or given anybody a Dunkin' experience. I had COVID last week, and that kind of sucked.
That is a damn fine
but anyway,
question.
the pandemic.
Because I
The
actually
pandemic started my kind of, you know, coffee talks,
really
so to
had,
speak.
like, a Dunkin' experience,
It actually started with what I called, and I had one
and that
yesterday
kinda
actually.
But anyway,
A coffee clutch vent sesh.
the pandemic.
And so because I was
started
getting,
my,
you know, I'm very opinionated.
kind of,
I know it's like such a
coffee
shock.
talks, so to
But
speak.
I
It
just
actually started with
needed to
what I
get shit
called,
off
and
my
I had one
mind, and I
yesterday,
couldn't go
actually,
anywhere. I couldn't really
a
talk to
coffee
anybody. You
clutch
know, we were on
vent sesh.
not quarantine, but we
And
had
so because I was getting,
we had
you know, very
curfews, right?
opinionated. I know it's like
in New
such a
Jersey.
shock.
So all
But
I could really do was
I
drive to Dunkin',
just
get my coffee, and
needed
sit there
to
and
get shit
lament.
off my
I mean,
mind.
my
I couldn't go
my
anywhere. I
office
couldn't
had
really
closed
talk to
down. We were
anybody.
fully
You know,
remote.
we were on not
The
quarantine,
friends
but
that
we
I met
had
with every single day to talk about
we had
life with, they weren't there
curfews,
anymore.
right?
I
In New
had
Jersey,
video
so
games, and I
all
had
I could really
Dunkin'.
do was
So
drive to
you know,
Dunkin', get my coffee, and sit there and
I had my
lament.
car,
I
and
mean,
the only way I could
my
actually
office
escape
had
my
closed
house
down. We were fully
or
remote.
to get any peace for
The
myself was
friends that I
to
met with
literally
every single
leave, go
day
get
to
my
talk about
coffee,
life
pull
with, they
over,
weren't
and
there
just have
anymore. I
conversations. And that's
had
exactly
video
how it
games, and I had
started.
Dunkin'.
So
you
it
know,
really was just
and
that.
I
Like I
had
drank my
car, and the
coffee,
only
and
way I could
I
actually
decided I'm
escape my
gonna just get
house
on video.
or
And
to get any
you know what I
peace for
really
myself
learned
was
too
to
through the
literally
pandemic
leave,
is
go get my
I wasn't
coffee,
alone
pull
in what
over,
I
and
was
just have
thinking and what I was
conversations. And
feeling.
that's
So
exactly
it just
how it
kind of was
started.
more therapeutic
So
than anything for
it
me to
really
just
was
kind of
just that. Like
sit there, turn
drank
on a
my
camera,
coffee,
and
I
if
decided
somebody
I'm
wanted
gonna
to listen,
just
great.
go on
If not, at the
video.
end of the day, it didn't
You know
really
what I
matter
really
to me
learned too
because
through
it
the
made me
pandemic
feel a
is
hell of a
I
lot
wasn't
better.
alone in what I
So
was thinking
that's really how it
and what I was
started.
feeling. So it just kind of was more therapeutic than anything for me to just kind of sit there, turn on a camera, and if somebody wanted to
Well,
listen,
I have,
great.
and
If
I'll
not,
tell
at
you
the end of
what.
the day, it
Here's
didn't
a
really
here's a
matter
real
to me
fun fact. I'm
because it
chicken
made me
shit to
feel
see
a
a
hell
real
of a lot better.
therapist.
So
So if the
that's
video
really how it
camera can give
started.
me like the
So is that
littlest bit of
therapy?
therapy,
You
I'm all
actually
about
give
it.
yourself therapy,
Because
Sarah?
I'm
You've revolutionized
chicken
how you
shit.
receive
I
it.
am chicken shit.
Well, I have, and I'll tell you what. Here's a real fun fact. I'm chicken shit to see a real therapist. So if the video camera can give me like the
Still
littlest
getting
bit
that
of
COVID
therapy,
voice.
I'm all about it. Because
I love that.
I'm chicken shit. I am chicken shit.
Well, I don't particularly like it either. I'm not a huge fan talking about myself. I know you'll all find that hard to believe, but it's very true. Sarah, you hit something there, gaming, right? So you are a beautiful, um, um, you know, competent, confident woman. You are gorgeous inside and out. You do not, for me, fit the stereotype, and that's my fault, fit the stereotype of a gaming person. When I think of a gaming person, I think of my, you know, 16-year-old son when he was 16, and I think of my brother at that age, and I also think of my husband
Oh
at
my
50 years of
gosh.
age. So and that's terrible of me. So I don't really, and I think people who are very pale and when they come out, they you know, vampire type, they don't know what sunshine is. So tell me how that originated.
So,
I'm a woman.
wow,
And I'm
yeah. I
saying
mean,
that, but
honestly,
it's
you're
not
right,
what
and you're not
I
alone. I mean, a lot of
expected
people, and this
because I
might
wasn't
be like
subjected to that world. So
derogatory-ish for anybody
and
that's
I
a
didn't
gamer,
get the
but we would,
opportunity.
you
I
know,
didn't
people think
understand it.
that
So tell
they're
me about that side.
neckbeards, right? They're nerds, and they sit home and they drink their
So,
Mountain Dew and eat Doritos. That's what everybody thinks a
wow,
gamer
yeah. I
is, for the
mean,
most part.
honestly, you're right,
And
you're not alone.
to be
I mean, a lot of
honest, my
people, and
brothers
this
fit that
might
bill.
be like derogatory-ish
And they
for
actually
anybody that's
got
a
me
gamer,
into
but we
gaming.
would,
So
you know, people
to
think
kind of
that
like
they're
take a really, really
neckbeards,
way,
right?
way far back,
They're
because I
nerds,
mean,
and they
I know
sit
I'm a
home
young
and they
muffin
drink their
and all,
Mountain
but
Dew and eat Doritos.
you know, I'm
That's
going
what
to take it
everybody
way
thinks a
back.
gamer is, for the most
My
part.
father used to like
And
bring home
to
like
be
video
honest,
game
my
systems
brothers
to
fit
us
that
when I was
bill.
really, really young. I'm the
And
oldest
they
of
actually
three.
got
Well,
me
my
into
youngest
gaming.
brother
So
passed away, so now I'm
to
the
kind of
oldest
like
of
take
two.
a
But
really, really
we would all play
far
video
back,
games. My
because I
father would
mean, I
bring
know I'm a
like
young muffin and all, but
Atari
you know, I'm
home,
gonna take it way
right?
back.
Like we had the
My
cool games
father
all the
used
time.
to
We had
like bring home like video
ColecoVision. I
game
was
systems
playing
to us when
like
I was
Pitfall
really,
and
really
shit,
young. I'm
and
the oldest of three.
with
Well,
my
my
brothers,
youngest
and
brother
then I
passed
kind of
away, so now I'm the
graduated
oldest
to
of two. But
Nintendo
we would
and
all play
started
video
playing
games. My
that. I
father would
used to
bring
sit
like
at home by myself in my
Atari
20s,
home,
and it was
right?
back
Like
during the
we had the
Blockbuster
cool games all
days.
the time. We had
Like you could actually go to
ColecoVision. I was
Blockbuster
playing
Video.
like
For anybody
Pitfall
that
and
doesn't know what
shit
it is, it was like a, you
with my
know, a
brothers, and
video
then I kind of graduated
VHS
to
place. You would go there and you
Nintendo
pick out your
and started
video, and
playing
then you
that.
go
I
home and
used to
watch it, and
sit
you
at home by
return it. And if you
myself in
didn't
my
rewind it, well,
20s,
then you
and it
fucking
was
had to
back
pay a
during the
price.
Blockbuster
But you
days.
could actually
Like you could
rent
actually
video
go to
game systems
Blockbuster
there too.
Video. For anybody that doesn't know what it
So
is,
I
it was
used to
like
go
a,
there,
you
rent
know,
Echo
a
the
video
Dolphin, watch
VHS
Seinfeld,
place.
call it a
You
day,
would
and
go there and you
whatever.
pick out your video, and you go
And
home and watch it, and
then
you
and
return it. And
then
if you didn't rewind
God,
it,
that
well,
was
then you fucking had
probably
to pay a price. But you could actually rent
right.
video
That was
game
like
systems there too.
the mid '90s
So I
when that
used to
was
go there,
happening.
rent Echo the Dolphin, watch
And then
Seinfeld, call it a day,
my brothers
whatever.
got me into this game called World of
And
Warcraft.
then,
And I
God, that
used
was
to make fun of
probably
them. So for anybody who doesn't know what World of Warcraft is, it's called
that
an
was like the
MMORPG.
mid
So
90s
it's a
when that was
multi.
happening.
I always forget the damn
And
names,
then
like what
my
that shit
brothers
stands
got
for.
me
But
into this game
it's a
called World of
multiplayer
Warcraft.
online like role
And
play
I
video
used to
game.
make fun of
It's
them.
like
So for
Dungeons
anybody
and
who doesn't know
Dragons,
what
but
World of
on a
Warcraft
computer.
is, it's called an MMORPG.
And so back then,
So
like nobody
it's a
really used computers for
I
anything.
always forget the damn
So when my
names,
brothers
like
sat
what
down, they would
what
build
that shit stands
computers, and
for.
I
But
would just make fun
it's
of
a
them. Like, you guys are the
multiplayer
biggest
online
friggin'
like
nerds.
role
Like,
play
I don't
video
want to
game.
learn this
It's
shit.
like Dungeons
My
and
youngest brother
Dragons,
sat me
but
down,
on
and
a
he's like, "Hey,
computer.
Sarah, I want to show you something really
And so
cool."
back then,
So
like
he
nobody
sat
really
me down
used
at this
computers for
computer. I did
anything.
not know
So
what
when
the
my
hell a
brothers
mouse
sat
was.
down, they
Like,
would
I didn't
build
know what the hell I
computers,
was
and I
doing.
would
I
just
only
make
knew how
fun
to
of them.
use
Like, you guys
AOL
are
and
the
type to
biggest
people in
friggin'
chat
nerds.
rooms. I
Like,
didn't
I
know
don't want to
shit
learn
about a
this
video
shit.
game. And
My
he's like,
youngest
"No, it's
brother
really
sat
cool.
me
You
down
can
and he's like,
actually
"Hey, Sarah, I
like
want to show you something
create
really
your own
cool."
character, and you
So
can
he
name it,
sat
and
me
you
down at
can,
this
you know, give it
computer. I
purple
did
hair
not
and like all
know
this
what
stuff."
the
And I
hell
just
a
thought that was
mouse
the
was. Like, I
craziest
didn't
thing in
know
the
what the hell
world.
I was doing.
Like,
I
I
only
was
knew
like,
how
"Oh
to
my
use
God, like
AOL
that's
and
so
type to
cool." But
people in
you know,
chat
the only
rooms. I
thing
didn't
that
know
sucked is
shit
because
about
I
a
didn't
video
really know
game.
how to use a
And he's like,
computer, and
"No,
I
it's
was
really cool. You
like
can
25,
actually like
24, 25.
create your own
I was literally
character,
just
and you
running
can
into
name it,
fucking
and you
walls all the
can,
time.
you
I
know,
had no
give it
idea, and
purple
I was
hair
like, "You
and
know
like
what?
all this
Fuck
stuff."
this
And I
shit.
just thought
This
that
is
was
so
the
annoying."
craziest thing in the world.
And
Like I was like,
along
"Oh
with
my
that
God, like
game
that's
comes
so
with like
cool."
its
But
own
you know, the
little
only thing that
dialect.
sucked is because I didn't really
So
know
the
how to
way
use
we
a
kind of
computer,
talk
and I
about
was
NFTs and
like
have our own
25,
slang, it was the
24,
same thing in
25.
video games.
I was
So
literally
we
just
would
running
literally
into
sit
fucking
down,
walls
and
all the time. I had no
my
idea. And I
brothers
was
would
like,
have
"You
a
know what? Fuck this
conversation, and
shit.
I would
This is
really
so
feel like they were
annoying."
speaking another
And
language.
along with
And
that game comes with
then
like its own little
I had my
dialect.
daughter. Like
So
this,
the
you
way
know,
we kind
fast
of talk
forward
about
years
NFTs
later,
and have our own slang was the same
I
thing in
had my
video games.
daughter, and I
So
was really
we would
bored. Like
literally sit
I
down, and
worked, but
my brothers
on the
would have a
weekends I had nothing
conversation,
to
and I would
do,
really feel like they
and
were
I
speaking
picked up
another
World of
language.
Warcraft and I started
And
playing. And then my brothers brothers are
then
like, see,
had my
we knew
daughter.
you'd play.
Like this,
And so that's
fast
really
forward
how it
years
got
later,
started for me. And I've been
I
playing
had
that
my
off and
daughter,
on
I
for
was really
like
bored. Like I
12
I
years.
worked, but on the weekends
So
I
that's
had
kind of the
nothing to do,
genesis of it all.
and I picked up World of Warcraft and I started playing. And then my brothers are like, see, we knew you'd play. And so that's really how it got started for me. And I've been playing that off and on for like 12 years. So that's kind of the genesis of it all.
That's beautiful.
amazing,
That's
right?
beautiful.
That's amazing.
It's beautiful, and I love the fact here you are, and you're the perfect example of a female in this space. In that you know you have so many different talents, and we get to share all those different talents and get to know people, get to know the different facets of our lives and the story behind it. I mean, you're an expert in Discord. You game. You give opinion. You're a strong female entity in the space, And that's what we need, Sarah. That is what we need, and that's what we crave. And it's like what Kat was saying in the previous room. She was saying, you know, we're all energy, and that type of energy attracts like. It's like two magnets. It's the way it is, and it's our duty and our obligation to really keep it going so that we can reach out a hand and bring more females into the space. I know they say there's more females in the space, but I tell you what, I haven't seen them other than the people that I know, and I'm here a lot. So I still think that we need to have
Aw.
those role models, those pioneers, those mavericks, and I just love that family story behind that. It's just beautiful, and I'll hand over to wee Peg because yeah, I could talk all day because I've been sick and I haven't been able to talk.
Yep. Yeah, Pam, I'll tell you a quick one. Okay. A few years back, they had a scientific study that said, whatever it was, I forget what the amount was, but that women roughly used 5,000 words a day, and men only used 2,000. So, my husband and I had a good laugh about it, and then there came a time where he told me I was talking too much, and I said, I haven't used my quota. I still have some words left.
That's what it is. That's what I feel like. I feel like I have had no voice for a couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to get all the words out. So it's like verbal diarrhea. I apologize, Sarah. I do.
So, Sarah, I was so excited to attend your, I think it was your very first vodcast. Okay, she has a vodcast called The Culture of Gaming, and she had the most interesting guest. I really had a great time, and Sarah's such an accomplished streamer. She's on Twitch, and she's such an authority. You really assert yourself in your space. I love it, and you're really strong on that channel, and so you had the most interesting guest. I loved her. She was a gamer, and that's what the show is about, right? And but she's also um, does makeup, and I guess you could tell us more, Sarah, about her, the
Yeah,
influencer that she is,
so just to
and does
kind
her
of
makeup
sorry, my chair keeps
while
falling, you guys. Also, I just want to let you all know I am
such
streaming this on Twitch live as well,
really
so
interesting. She's a
I just had to
beautiful
do that.
woman, and she's very
So
talented, and
the idea
smart
behind the
too.
vodcast, as you know, I love gaming so much. I've gone through like the ringer, like good, bad, ugly, everything, and something that's always been very, very important to me is trying to make it very inclusive. Because one thing that I found out from being a female in the gaming space is that I don't know, guys, and by the way, this is like not a knock on guys, but it's just like the culture of gaming is trying to make is that guys automatically think you either need help or you want to be hit on, or you're just like a bitch if you're like good at things. And not a knock on guys, but it's there's a lot of crap. Like I can't tell you the amount of like unsolicited dick pics I would get too. Like I'm telling you, it's a thing, and that's why Discord is like the devil sometimes. But there's a lot of room for a lot of people. We game because we want an escape a lot of times. We want a break from reality, and I'm telling you, it's a thing, and that's why that's really the only peace of mind we can get. So trying to be like a woman, trying to get away from reality, and then getting smacked in the face with these like pics, it's really hard. And so a big thing for me, especially I helped to run. I shouldn't say I ran. I was one of 12 guild masters that ran one of the largest. It was the largest at the time. North American guild on World of Warcraft, and we had over 12,000 members. I helped to run, and it was a lot of people and a lot of Discord. And you got people from all walks of life, and the one thing that brought everybody together was making everybody feel safe and included, in that they really truly had like a home away from home there. And that's something that always stuck with me forever and ever and ever. And so my goal in this, and especially now that I have a daughter who's very into gaming, the one thing that I want her to feel safe and included and welcome. She had a really bad experience.
And that's something that always stuck with me forever.
She was playing Minecraft. She couldn't have been more than like 8 years old. And some guy was asking her for a picture of her in her underwear.
You know, I want her to
and for anybody that's familiar with Minecraft, like they don't have, you know, active moderators. You know, basically everything that you have there is, you know, you purchase a little plot, kind of like you would in the metaverse, and you know, you go and you play with some friends. But there's nobody that shuts shit down. You know, you're relying on people, and you know, they try to like fish for kids' informations and ages and all of this stuff, and I like there was nothing I could do. I didn't know the person's information. By the time they found out, like we couldn't identify this person. They'd already deleted their account, and I said, I'll be damned if this ever happens to my kid or any other kid ever again. So the best thing I can do is put the positivity out there and try to stop this kind of bullshit shenanigans from happening. And you know, you probably have noticed, but I don't take a lot of shit like that. Like if I can identify a troll like a billion miles away, and I will have no qualms with booting somebody. And I'm very I'm diligent about that. But anyway, sorry, I just wanted to give you a little background of why, you know, this culture of gaming is so important, is because, you know, I'm one of many parents who has children that are into gaming, and want to make it a safe space for them, for ourselves, and just overall. I think it's like a world problem. Maybe I'll heal the world. I don't know. Maybe somewhere, somehow, I think I'm going to heal the world doing this. So my very first guest was Wicked Khaleesi, and her name is Leia, which is funny because it's also my dog's name. And I met her actually on Mixer. So I know it sounds like a dating site. It totally was not. Microsoft had their version of Twitch, which was a streaming platform called Mixer. It was free, and it was beautifully integrated with Xbox. And during the pandemic, a lot of people, you know, shied away from Twitch. They were having some issues, and a lot of people made accounts on Mixer. And it was really great there, and it was very friendly. And that's how I met her, and so many other really great people. Like it was just organic and homey, and it was like a lot smaller, and it was just like sitting on your couch. You know how we describe sitting in Clubhouse sometimes? It's like sitting on a couch with your besties, and that's how Mixer was. And I just remember going to Leia's streams and just remembering how welcoming she was to people. And you know, as someone who's a grown-ass adult, you know, I have a mouth on me, as you know, and I could tell, like, she was very, not that she wouldn't curse or anything, but she kept it, you know, very clean. And what I realized is that she invited not just adults to play with her, but there were, you know, kids like my daughter's age that would love to come and watch her stream. She was very wholesome and sweet, and, you know, Peg, as you mentioned, you know, she's just like, she's just such a wonderful human being. Like, in addition to gaming, you know, she has a lot of cats. She actually lost 2 of her cats, which were her whole hearts. She had a dog that passed away. Like, she's gone through a lot of like loss, like in the last couple of years, and she's been really finding solace in doing a lot of things that make her happy, like getting plants, and you know, she does a lot of like crystals and astrology and card readings. And she, I learned something new that night, is that she did a lot of makeup, and I did not know that. I did not know that she worked for, what the heck was it? Was it Lancome? I think it was Lancome. And you know, she's just a wealth of talent. She was like she followed storms. Like, she was a storm chaser and would help people around her, because she's in Kansas, like identify when a freaking tornado was coming so that people could go and get to shelter. That's amazing. And on top of that, she's a certified ASL teacher. So she teaches American Sign Language, and what she started to do was she was incorporating it into her streams, and she was actually giving lessons to people. And I just thought that was the most amazing thing. I've been so fascinated with American Sign Language. Like, I remember joining TikTok, and I was floored at the audience of ASL people that were on that platform. And I thought, wow, that is such a hugely inclusive platform. But then I realized other people were doing it outside of that. And, you know, Leia was just one of the many people. Like, she's just a wealth of talent. She brings a lot of, you know, positive qualities into this gaming universe that we totally need. And she's just very welcoming. And I could not have planned a better guest. And she's just such a great person. So now I'm done talking.
You know, positive qualities into this gaming universe that we totally need. And she's just very welcoming. And I could not have planned a better guest. And she's just such a great person. So now I'm done talking.
No, it was really awesome. I loved, she gave us a sign language lesson. and that was really cool. So she taught us the alphabet, and it was really a lot of fun. She was a great guest,
Bleeding. Thank
and I wish you a
you.
lot of success with that show. I can't
I'm
wait
being
for the
interviewed
next
right now, so I'm
episodes
trying to
see
like
who you
stream it in
have.
both places.
You know, it's funny because I do remember the World of Warcraft parodied on The Simpsons, so I know what you're talking about, the multiplayer game there, and but on a more serious note, I'm just laughing about that part of it, being on The Simpsons. But you know, I'm so glad that you're thinking about protections in gaming for women because you know about the attack in the metaverse where a woman was attacked by 6 men, and you know she came in the metaverse, and so um, it was really traumatizing. You know, she said like she felt raped, and you know, it
It
was a
is.
terrible
You're
thing.
right, dude.
So yes, we need people to monitor these things and keep our children safe. You know, young women, because you could just imagine, right? These things happening in gaming. They're going, happening in the metaverse as well as we venture into there. And when you mentioned her having the cats, I wanted to ask you about your ferrets. So
Well, they are
the
fantastic. I
ferrets are
actually
adorable.
think I have a
You
ferret
haven't had
problem.
them
If you talk to
on in a
Collie
while.
Buds, he'll
Okay.
tell you,
Will you
like,
please
I'll be like, oh,
post
Collie,
some
I
little
just saw this really
videos
cute ferret. And he always
or
laughs at me. And
pictures
he's
of the
like, no,
ferrets?
no more
And
ferrets for you.
so
I
how
have
are they
7
doing?
ferrets, you guys. Like,
Well, they are fantastic. I
last
actually think
December,
I have a ferret problem.
yeah,
If you talk to Collie Buds, he'll tell
yeah, I
you.
know. So last
Like, I'll be like,
December,
oh, Collie, I just saw this really cute ferret.
hell
And he always laughs
no.
at
Are
me.
you
He's like,
kidding? Those are
no,
my
no more ferrets for
babies. What are
you.
you, out of your
I have
mind,
7
lady?
ferrets,
Come
you
on
guys.
now.
Like,
No, but it's really funny
last
because, like,
December,
you
yeah,
know,
Oh my
so
fucking god.
yeah, I know. So last December,
my daughter's like, yeah, we should really
hell
get one. So
no. Are you
we
kidding?
went to
Those are my
Petco, which, by the way,
babies.
don't judge me,
Out of
all right? Because
my
everybody's like, don't go to a pet store. And I'm like, but someone's
Well,
got to
it's
save
really
these little
funny
babies.
because,
So it
like,
may as well be me,
you know,
okay?
so
Overpriced, money I don't have to spend, but God damn it, I need to save the
my
animals.
daughter's
So
like, yeah, we should
we
really
got
get
one,
one.
and
So
we were
we
like,
went to
oh my
Petco,
God,
which, by
she's
the
so
way,
great.
don't
And we
judge
named her
me, all
Muffin.
right?
Like,
Because
my daughter's
everybody's
like,
like,
oh,
don't
her
go to a
name is
pet store. I'm
Muffin.
like, but
And so
someone's got to
little
save these
Muffin's
little
running
babies.
around and
So it may as
terrorizing
well
the
be
dog
me,
and the cat. Like,
okay?
we had a cat at the
Overpriced
time as
money I
well. The
don't
cat
have
was
to
like not
spend, but
having
God
it. She was
damn it, I
like,
need to
fuck
save the
this shit.
animals.
I'm out
So
of here.
we got one, and
But
we were like, oh my God, she's
after
so
like a
great. And we
couple
named
months,
her
I was like,
Muffin.
man,
And
she
my
like, she
daughter's like,
seems
oh, her
so
name is
bored and
Muffin. And
sad.
so
So
little
we're
Muffin's
like, hey,
running
why don't
around
we
and
get a
terrorizing the
second
dog and the
one,
cat. Like,
right?
we had a cat at the
So
time
we
as well. The
went
cat
to the
was like
pet
not having it.
store
She was like, fuck
again,
this
and
shit,
we
I'm
saw
out of
this
here.
really cute one, and we were like,
But
oh my God, we have to have her.
after
And
like
they're
a
like,
couple
oh,
months,
she's
I
a
was
little
like, man,
bitey. And we're like,
she seems
no
so bored and
problem.
sad.
That little
So
shit was
we're
a little
like, hey,
biter.
why
She's
don't we
still
get a
bitey, but she's
second
wonderful.
one,
But
right?
then we got
So
Butters.
we
Okay,
went
so
to
we
the
had
pet
Muffin and we
store
had Butters.
again,
And
we
those
saw
two were
this
running
really
around.
cute
But see,
one,
here's
and
the
we were
thing,
like,
you
oh my
guys.
God, we have to
Butters
have
had
her.
a
And they're like,
had
oh,
a,
she's
a
a
litter
little bitey.
mate
And
that
we were
was
like,
in
no
the cage with her
problem.
when we
That
went and
little shit
purchased
was a
her.
little biter.
So
She's
you
still
know
bitey,
what?
but she's wonderful. But
I
then we
cannot.
got
I could
Butters.
not
Okay, so we had Muffin and we had
take
Butters.
her without taking
And
her
those two
sister.
were
So the
running
next
around.
day
But
I went
see,
back,
here's the thing,
and
you
then we
guys.
got Coco.
Butters
So
had
then
a litter
we had
mate that
Muffin,
was
Butters,
in
and
the cage
Coco.
with her when we
And
went and
those 3
purchased
little
her.
rascals ran
So you know
around
what?
like crazy asses all over the place, and it was super great, and we loved them. And then
Take
I was
her
like, you
without taking her
know,
sister. So the next day I
I
went back.
feel like I
And then
want
we got
another one. It's like
Coco.
having
So
baby fever, except way
we had
fucking more
Muffin,
expensive. Well,
Butters,
maybe,
and
I don't know. It
Coco.
might not be
And
more
those 3
expensive, to
little
be honest.
rascals ran around
So
like
then I
crazy
went
asses
and I
all over the
saw
place, and it was
this
super
cute little
great, and we
baby
loved them. And then
with the
I
biggest
was like, you
ears,
know,
and he just looked at me and I
I
said,
feel
you're
like
coming
I
home
want
with me,
another
buddy,
one.
and you
It's
don't
like
even
having
know it yet.
baby
So I
fever,
literally
except way
walked
fucking
out
more
that
expensive.
door,
Well, maybe I
told
don't
my
know. It might
daughter
not be
about
more
it,
expensive,
came
to be
back,
honest.
and I said, hey, look,
So then I
what should
went
we name
and I
him?
saw
And guess what I
this
named
cute little
him?
baby
Duncan.
with the biggest ears.
That's
And he
right.
just
I named
looked at
him
me and I
Duncan. So
said, you're
that
coming home with me,
so at that
buddy, and you don't
so
even
at
know
that
it yet.
point
So
we
I
had
literally
Muffin,
walked out that
Butters,
door,
Coco, and
told my
Duncan.
daughter about it, came back, and I
As
said,
you
hey,
know,
look,
I have
what should
7,
we
so I did
name
not
him?
stop
And guess
there.
what I named him?
Then we had to get
Duncan.
Marshmallow, right? And then
That's
for
right.
sure we
I
were
named
done.
him
We were like,
Duncan.
we
So
got
that
5. Like, this
so
is like
at
enough.
that point
Like,
we had
5 is
Muffin,
enough. But you cannot
Butters,
have an
Coco,
odd
and
number, you
Duncan.
guys. You have to understand. You cannot have an odd number of ferrets. They all need a little buddy to play with. And the dog was like, no way.
I had to get
So the dog was like out of the
Marshmallow, right? And
equation.
then
You
for
had to
sure
get
we were
another
done.
one.
We were like, we got 5.
So I went to
Like,
the
this is
so I
like
went to the freaking
enough.
pet store, and guess what?
5
There
is
were
enough.
2
You
there.
cannot have an odd number, you guys.
And
You
I was
have
like,
to
boy, they
understand, you
sure are
cannot have an
cute.
odd number
They
of
also are
ferrets. They all
sure
need a
are
little buddy to
expensive.
with. And the dog was
But
like,
you
no
cannot
way.
take one without
So the
the
dog was
other,
like, on
okay?
the
You just
equation.
couldn't.
You have
So
to get another one.
then we got Sam
So
and
I went to
Dean.
the
And for
so I went to the
anybody
freaking
that
pet store, and guess what? There were 2 there.
Anybody that is into Supernatural,
They sure are
we
cute.
named them after
They
Sam and
also
Dean.
sure are
We had to go
expensive,
against the food
but
thing.
you
We couldn't
cannot
find any
take
good
one
food
without the
names for
other,
them, so
You
Sam
just
and Dean it
couldn't.
was.
So,
And so
then we
far,
got
for
Sam and
now,
Dean,
we've
and
got
for
7, and that
anybody
is
that,
it. For now.
anybody
Never
that
say
is
never.
into Supernatural, we named them after Sam and Dean. We had to go against the food thing. We couldn't find any good food names for them, so Sam and Dean it was. And so far, for now,
They're the
we've got
best. I
7,
love
and that
them.
is it.
Listen, like some
For
people
now.
are like scared shitless of them because
Never
they
say never.
literally, the way they walk, they're like little hunchbacks, right? Like they look like giant ass rats running around,
Wow.
but they're the cutest little
Wow.
rats. And they
I
have
just
so
have no
much fun, and they make like
I
the
have
cutest little
no
sounds when they're
words.
like all happy. They're like,
They're the best. I love them. Listen,
So
like
then
some
I really-
people are like scared shitless of them because they literally, the way they walk,
you
they're
know
like little
what?
hunchbacks, right? Like, they
Listen,
look like
I
giant-ass
follow this
rats running
woman on
around, but they're the
Instagram,
cutest
okay?
little
And
rats.
her account
And they
is
have
called
so much
Fuffy
fun, and they
Ferrets,
make, like, the cutest little
Fuffy
sounds, and they're
Ferrets.
like all happy. They're like,
And she does little voices. She has 7
then
ferrets
I
too,
did
so
a
I don't
job,
feel
you did a
alone.
job,
But
you
she
know
does like all these
You
like
know
little
what?
comic strips and has
Listen,
like little
I
voices for
follow
them
this
and makes
woman on
plushies and stuff. So
Instagram,
I don't know.
okay?
They may
Her
not be able to
account
get
is called
jobs, but
Fuffy
maybe I can
Ferrets,
monetize them
FUFFY
somehow. But it's going to be a
Ferrets.
hell of a lot of work.
And
So
she
who
does
knows?
little voices. She has 7 ferrets too, so I don't feel alone. But she does like all these like little comic strips and has like little voices for them and makes plushies and stuff. So I don't know. They may not be able to get jobs, but maybe I can monetize them somehow. But it's going to be a hell of a lot of work. So who knows?
I love it, Sarah. Sarah, go and tell me something, right? So,
Ah,
I
okay.
try to teach myself as much as I can, right? And try to learn as much
Anyway,
as I can.
That's
What
ferret.
the-
That's
and
ferret talk.
underdog.
Hey, little baby. Okay, so
What is streaming?
So
and
Twitch is a
you
streaming
talk to me
platform.
like I'm a ferret.
initially it was, and it's free
Okay.
by the way. So anybody can make a Twitch account, and you do not have to pay for anything.
Like, I'm a
Anyway,
So if you were like
baby.
kind of interested in
That's ferret
dabbling, and
talk.
maybe you're like, I don't really
Okay,
want to do
so-
like Instagram Live or anything like
So
that.
Twitch is a
The
streaming
Twitch platform has like
Initially,
hundreds of thousands
it
of
was-
people on
and it's
there.
free,
It's
by
a
the
little
way,
hard
so
to get
anybody can make a
recognized,
Twitch
but
account and you
it's
do
fun.
not have
Like
to
you
pay
could go
for
on there,
anything.
it's free, and that's
So if you
free
were
is
like
always
kind of
good.
interested in dabbling,
It started as a
if
gaming
you're like, I don't
platform, but
really wanna do,
as
like,
you know,
Instagram Live or anything like
creators
that,
started to
the
evolve,
Twitch
and I use
platform has,
creators
like,
instead of
hundreds
gamers
of
because
thousands of people on
gamers
there.
actually get
It's a
pissed
little
off
hard
when
to
they
get
see people
recognized,
doing
but
things
it's
like
fun.
what I'm
you
doing
go
now,
on
which
there,
is
it's
called
free,
just
and
chatting.
free is always
Like if you
good.
have a just
It
chatting
started
thing,
as a
people
gaming
get pissed
platform,
off.
but
And then there was
as,
this really, you know,
creators started to evolve, and I
huge
used
like
creators instead of
this
gamers
huge
because
burst of people
gamers
doing
actually
like
get
hot
pissed
tub
off when they
streams.
see
So they
people doing
literally, and
things
this was
like
during the
what I'm
pandemic,
doing
people
now,
would
which
get
is
like
called
blow up
just
hot
chatting.
tubs,
Like if you
and
have
they
a
would
just
like put it in
chatting
the middle
thing,
of their
people get
fucking
pissed
living
off.
room, and then they
And
would
then there
sit
was this
there in their
really,
hot tub and they
you
would
know,
stream.
huge like
That made the guys
this
very
huge
mad
burst
because
of
God
people doing,
forbid
like,
you
hot
have
tub
cleavage
streams.
on
So they
stream. Like
literally, and this
they
was during
thought
the
that you were
pandemic, people
stealing
would get
all
like
of their
blow up
views.
hot
I mean,
tubs,
I will be honest,
and
I've
they would
never
like
done a
put it
hot
in the
tub
middle of
stream, and
their
I do
fucking
not
living
ever
room,
plan
and
to
then
do
they
a
would
hot
sit
tub
there in
stream.
their hot
Plus,
tub
I
and they would
really don't
stream.
think one would fit in my room, if we're being
That
honest.
made the guys very mad because God
So
forbid you
that's
have
the whole
cleavage
Twitch
on
rigmarole.
stream.
And what
Like,
was the other
they
question?
thought
You
that
said
you were
Twitch, and you
stealing all
wanted
of
to
their views. I mean,
know
I will be
what else
honest, I've
did you?
never done a hot tub stream, and I do not ever plan to do a hot tub stream. Plus, I really don't think one would fit.
It's
in my
just
room, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the whole
Yeah.
Twitch rigmarole. And what was the other question? You said Twitch, and you wanted to know.
It's just
What
a
does
fancy way of saying
What
going
does
live,
streaming mean?
basically.
Does it mean like?
I mean, really,
is it
that's
like
all it is. I mean, and you don't
looking
have
at
to be on
the
camera either. I mean, there's
Yeah.
times where I
Yeah,
just
so
don't feel like
actually
getting
show
on
your
camera.
face
Yeah.
And I'll
obviously
just turn
you
off the
think you
camera, and
but
you know, if
no,
people
it's
think I'm a
like
really
me.
great
It's just a
game
fancy
player,
way of
which
saying
by the way I am
going
not,
live,
but I sure have a
basically.
damn fun
I
time.
mean, really,
But
that's all
I
it is.
think
and you
I
don't
think
have
people
to be on
actually
camera either. I
they
mean,
don't come
there's
to watch
times
me
where
play,
I
but
just don't feel like getting on
I say the
camera.
darndest things
And I'll just turn
sometimes,
off
and I
the
guess that's
camera, and,
entertaining
you know,
for
if
some
people
people.
think I'm a
But
really
yeah,
great,
so that's
game
Twitch,
player,
that's
which,
live
by the way,
streaming.
I'm not,
And by
but
the
I
way,
sure
like
have a damn fun time.
you can live
But
stream
I think people actually
on
they
a
don't
lot
come
of
to
different
watch me
platforms
play,
these
but,
days anyway. You could do
I
like
say the
Facebook,
darndest things
Instagram, YouTube
sometimes,
is a
and I
really
guess
big
that's
one for
entertaining for
gamers
some
now,
people. But yeah,
or even
so that's
content creators in
Twitch,
general.
that's live streaming.
Trying to think of any
And
other
by
good
the way,
ones.
like, you
TikTok.
can,
Here's a weird,
you
crazy
can
thing
live
now, you guys.
stream,
So, you know, TikTok,
on a
you
lot of
need to
different
have at least
platforms
1,000
these days anyway.
followers
You
in
can do,
order to
like,
go live.
Facebook,
What a lot
Instagram,
of people
YouTube
have
is a
been
really
doing,
big one
because
for
Twitch, by the
gamers,
way, you can get monetized through
even content
Twitch.
creators
So if
in
enough
general.
people subscribe to your
Trying to think of any
channel,
other
you
good
can
ones.
actually make
TikTok.
some
Here's a
money.
weird, crazy
By the way,
thing
if
now,
you
you
do
guys.
have
So,
Amazon
you know,
Prime, you can
TikTok,
actually
you
subscribe
need
to
to
your
have at
favorite
least
streamer
1,000
for
followers in
free
order to go
on a
live.
month-to-month
What a lot of
basis
people
if you
have been
wanted to
doing,
do that.
because
Just
Twitch,
throwing
by
it
the
out
way, you
there.
can get monetized through Twitch. So if enough people subscribe
Yeah,
to your
because
channel, you can
because
actually
Amazon
make some
purchased
money. By the way,
Twitch
if
or
you do
vice
have
versa. Yeah,
Amazon
Amazon I
Prime,
think
you can
purchased it.
actually
But
subscribe to your favorite streamer
you
for
can get
free
monetized and you
on a
can make
month-to-month
I
basis
forget
if
where
you
I was
wanted to
honestly
do
going
that.
with the
Just
whole
throwing it out
conversation,
there.
but you can make money
Wow.
doing it.
I have
And I
Amazon
mean,
Prime.
I don't have
Yeah,
like,
because
I'm not
because
going to be
Amazon
making
purchased
a shit ton of
Twitch
money,
or
but there
vice
are
versa.
people
Yeah,
who
Amazon, I
make
think, But
a very lucrative amount of
you can
money
get
by
monetized and you
playing
can
video
make,
games or doing
I
some
forget
other
where I was
content
honestly going with the
creation.
whole conversation,
And
but you
actually,
can make money
where
doing
I was
it.
going with this
And
is
I mean,
Twitch
I don't have like,
always says
you
that they
know,
want to
I'm
start
not gonna be
taking more money
making
from
a shit ton
streamers.
of
So
money,
right
but
now it's a
there are
50-50
people who
split.
make
And there
very
were talks
lucrative
where
amount of
Twitch wanted
money
to take
by
70% of
video
the
games or
creators'
doing
money.
some
So
other
people were like,
content
F you.
creation.
And they actually
where I was
started
going with
moving
this
over to
is,
TikTok.
Twitch
Now, TikTok
always
takes
says that they
all of
want to
your
start
money,
taking more money
basically,
from
which is
streamers. So right now it's a
crazy.
50-50 split.
I don't know how people get monetized,
And
but I think what's
there were talks
happening
where
on
Twitch wanted to
TikTok
take
is
70% of
people
the
are literally
creators' money.
setting
So
up their
people were like,
cameras
F
and they're
you.
streaming in two places
And
at
they
once, which
actually started moving over to
it
TikTok.
can be
Now,
quite
TikTok
illegal.
takes all of your money,
So people have to be
basically,
very
which is
careful. I'm not like
crazy.
outing
I don't
anybody,
know.
but you have
I
to be
don't know how
very
people get
careful about
monetized,
it.
but I think what's
And
happening on
instead of
TikTok
people
is people are
paying
literally
you by
setting
way
up
of
their cameras and
subscription,
they're streaming
you
in
just
two
throw your
places at
Venmo or
once,
your
which
Cash App, and then
it
they can
can
pay
be
you that
quite
way, and it
illegal.
all goes right to you, and you
So
don't have to
people
pay
have to
any
be
other
very
Tom, Dick, and
careful. I'm
Harry
not
getting
like
a,
outing anybody, but you have to be very
it's their way of,
careful
I
about
guess,
it.
decentralizing
And
it,
instead
right?
of
So all the
people
money goes to them. So
paying you by way of subscription,
it's
you just throw
wild.
your
It's like the
Venmo or your
Wild West
Cash App, and then
sometimes.
they can
I
pay
don't
you
know.
that way,
This
and
is
it
why
all
I
goes
do it
right
for
to you,
fun,
and you don't
because I
have to
think
pay
that
any
if I
other Tom,
tried
Dick,
to
and
do
Harry
it
getting a, you know,
as
it's
my
their way of,
full-time
I guess,
job, I'd probably go out of
decentralizing
my
it,
mind
right?
and
So
not
all the
enjoy
money
it as
goes
much
to
as I
them.
do now.
So it's wild. It's like the Wild West sometimes. I don't know. This is why I do it for fun, because I think that if I tried to do it as my full-time job, I'd probably go out of my mind and not enjoy it as much as I do now.
And that's the whole thing, right? This is what I say to people too about onboarding people into the space, or educating and inviting new people in. This is fun. We have to remove these barriers to entry. And you just talked about fun there as well. And the fact that, you know, we can support other people, and that's what we're all about. That's what it's about. But it has to come back to fun. There has to be a reason why people want to do things. So I think at the minute where everywhere you look seems very dreary and drab and grey, a wee bit of fun can carry you through. I'm from Northern Ireland. We were trying to kill each other most of the time, and then the weather was shit, so we had to have a sense of humour and have a bit of fun. So I am a firm
I totally
believer that
agree.
if we make
I mean, if
this,
my whole
you know,
mantra is, and I know this is
what do you
not
call
going to
it,
be earth
Twitch
shattering to
and
anybody,
streaming
but like if
fun,
it's
the
not fun,
masters
don't
of fun
fucking
as
do
well.
it.
And it's the
I
same
mean,
with
it's been really
Web3
hard for me over the years to
NFTs.
say no to
Exactly the
doing things
same. What do
because
you
I
think?
felt like out of obligations, and
I totally
you know,
agree.
well, what if I give
mean,
up on it too soon,
my
and
whole
then
mantra
like
is,
you know,
I
I
know this is
feel
not gonna be
immediate
earth-shattering
regret.
to
Like
anybody,
you just have
but,
to
like, if it's
follow
not
your
fun,
gut,
don't fucking
and
do it. I mean,
you have to make it
it's been
fun,
really
because
hard
at the
for
end
me
of the
over the
day, if
years
you're
to say
doing
no to
something
doing
that
things
just
because I
does
felt
not
like
feel right
out of
to you, like
obligations, and
it's just
you know, well, what if I give
nothing
up on
good
it
is
too
ever going to
soon,
come
and
out of
then
it. And
I
you know
get,
what's really
you know, I
interesting
feel
too, while we're
immediate
talking about
regret.
this,
Like,
I was in a
you just
space
have to
earlier
follow
with
your
the
gut,
creator
and
of Fuzzy Mints,
you
Saba,
have to make it fun,
and
because at
one
the
of
end
her
of the day, if
mods,
you're doing something that just
Tom, was
does
in
not
there,
feel right to you,
and
like,
he was
it's
talking
just
about
nothing good is ever
onboarding
gonna come
people,
out of
and
it.
he
And
was
you know what's
talking
really
about
interesting
actually
too, while we're
managers,
talking
and
about
he was
this,
saying there's
I was in
usually
a
like
space
two kinds of
earlier with the
managers, right?
creator
There's
of Fuzzy
the
Mints,
person that's the
Saba,
numbers person, and then there's the
one of her
person that's
mods,
the people person.
Tom, was in there,
I have always,
and he was
in
talking
any
about
facet of anything that I've ever
onboarding
done,
people, and he was talking
in my
about
professional
actually
career,
managers, and
in
he was
my
saying there's usually
gaming
like two kinds of
career, I'm going to
managers,
use
right?
the term
There's
career
the
very
person that's the
loosely.
numbers person,
I've always
and then
been
there's the
a
person
people
that's
person.
the people
Person. I've been a
I
people
have
person.
always,
I
in any
love
facet
people.
of anything that I've
I
ever done,
just absolutely,
in my professional
my big thing is
career,
just
in
making
my
people feel like
gaming
they are part of
career, I'm going to
something.
use the term career
And
very
that to me
loosely.
is fun.
I've always
Like
been a people
just
person.
being able to kind of like share my
I've been a
knowledge,
people
and
person.
you know,
I
making
love
somebody
people.
feel like, hey, like don't
I
feel bad,
just
like, you know, I
absolutely,
was new once
my
too, and
big
here's
thing is
how
just
I
making
kind of,
people
you know,
feel like
navigated
they
through
are
it. Like
part
if
of
you can
something.
like impart any kind
And
of
that to
knowledge and
me
just
is fun.
make somebody feel
Like,
like they're less alone,
just
and
being able to
it's
kind of like
fun,
share my
and it
knowledge,
just, I
and
just feel like it just makes
you know,
things
making
so much
somebody feel like,
better.
hey,
Like
like
there's
don't feel bad,
something
like,
to be
you know,
said for
I
just
was new
making
once
somebody
too, and
comfortable
here's
in their
how
own
I
skin,
kind
and
of,
that's
you know,
something that I've
navigated through
really
it.
been
Like if you
passionate
can like
about, like
impart any kind of knowledge
for
and just
so long,
make somebody feel
in
like they're
anything
less
that I've
alone,
done.
and
You know,
it's fun,
I used
and
to
it
run
just I
a
just
a
feel like
team,
it just makes things
an
so much
operations
better.
team.
Like
Like operations is
something to be said for just
has
making
been my
somebody
backbone for the
comfortable in their own
longest time.
skin,
Like
and that's
it's
something
been
that I've
like
really been passionate
I
about.
love love
like,
bringing on new people and
for
teaching
so
them
long.
things. Like
And
that is
anything
the
that
most
I've done,
beautiful thing
you
to
know,
me.
I
And when
I
when it
used to
clicks
run
for somebody
a
and they
team,
like just feel
an
so
operations
confident
team.
in it,
Like, operations
and things
has
start to
been
make
my
sense
backbone
to
for the
them and it
longest
starts to
time. Like,
become
it's
fun.
been
Like at the end of the day, like
I love bringing on new
that's what it's
people and
all about
teaching
for
them
me.
things.
And
Like, that is
everything
the
that I
most
do,
beautiful thing to
everything
me.
that I
And
do.
when it clicks for somebody and they like just feel so confident in it, and things start to make sense to them and it starts to become fun. Like at the end of the day, like that's what it's all about for me. And everything that I do.
you're such a beautiful person, Sarah. I'm really honored to know you, and thank
Sorry,
you
guys, I
for
still got my COVID
everything
cough.
that you're doing in the space. I just wanted to say, if somebody wants to come up and ask Sarah a question, we do not have our regular NFT experts tonight, Ben and Jeremy. They're both off, so we have a few extra minutes. But I just wanted you to touch on your fundraising in the gaming space, because that's another part of you. You're such a generous person, and you
Thank you,
utilize
because
the
sometimes I get myself
the
involved in
gaming
so much
space
shit that I
to
forget the things that I do, and I appreciate you for that. So
sorry,
I
attending to something
well, I
there.
was playing World of
Use the
Warcraft. I
gaming
was
space
introduced
to raise
to
funds. Why
this
don't you
thing
let us
called
know
Extra
about that?
Life, and I was like, well, this is kind of
Thank you,
cool. Like, what do
because
you do? And they're like,
sometimes I
oh,
get
well, we're just
myself
gonna play
involved in
World
so
of
much shit that
Warcraft
I
like
forget
all
the
day
things
and
that I
all
do, and I
night, and
appreciate you
we're
for
gonna
that.
raise money
So
for this charity called Extra
while I
Life,
was
and
playing World of
they are in
Warcraft,
support
I
of
was
Children's Miracle
introduced
Network
to
hospitals, and I was
this
like,
thing called
oh,
Extra
what?
Life,
I was
and
like,
I
wait
was
a
like, well,
minute,
this is
wait a
kind of
minute.
cool.
I'm
Like,
like,
what
so
do you
you
do?
mean
And
to
they're
tell
like, oh,
me
well, we're just gonna play
I
World
can
of
log in and
Warcraft
play
like
World
all
of
day and all
Warcraft, which
night,
I'm
and
going to do
we're gonna
anyway,
raise
and
money
it's a time sink. I'm going to
for
spend
this
all my
charity
time
called
doing
Extra
it, and
Life,
I can
and
actually
they
do
are in
it
support of
and
Children's
raise
Miracle
money
Network
for a
hospitals. And I was
charity.
like,
Are you
oh,
kidding
what?
me?
I was like, wait a
They're
minute,
like, yeah.
wait a minute. I'm like, so
That's
you
all
mean to tell
anybody
me
needed to tell me, and my
I
mind was
can log in
blown.
and play
My
World
mind
of
was blown. I
Warcraft,
was
which
like,
I'm
holy
going to do
shit, like, do
anyway.
people
It's a
actually know
time
that
sink.
this
I'm gonna spend
exists?
all my time doing
And
it, and I
that was
can
like
actually do
so
it
awesome to me.
and
I was
raise
like,
money
holy shit,
for
like,
a charity. Are
you
you
don't,
kidding
there's no
me?
barrier to
They're like,
entry. You
yeah.
don't have to
That's
pay. You
all
can if
anybody
you
needed to
want,
tell
you
me.
know,
And
if
my
you want
mind
some
was
like
blown.
swag out
My
of the
mind was
deal, but
blown.
you
I
do
was like,
not have
holy
to
shit!
pay.
Like, do people
You just
actually
show
know
up and you
that this
play your
exists?
most favorite video
And that
game
was like
and you
so
do it
awesome
and
to me. I
you
was like,
raise
holy
money.
shit!
And
Like,
so I've been doing it
you
for the
don't.
last 8
There's no
years.
barrier to
I've been
entry. You don't have to pay.
I
You
actually,
can
you
if
know,
you
once
want.
I
If
stopped
you want some like swag out of the deal, but you do
running
not have
that
to
one
pay.
guild, I
You just show up
started
and you
my own
play your
charity
most
gaming
favorite
team
video
called
game,
Greater Good
and you
Gaming,
do
and
it, and
I
you
call it
raise money.
G3
And so
for
I've
short.
been
And
doing
by
it
the
for
way,
the
I have the
last 8
most
years.
amazing logo
I've
that
been
Marky
I
Talks had
actually,
created for
once I
me.
stopped,
And I love it. It's so beautiful. I get
running
compliments on it
that
all the
one
time.
guild, I
But
started
yeah, so
my
I have
own
my G3
charity gaming
force,
team
and
called
you know, we're a
Greater
small
Good
but mighty
Gaming, and
team, but we all get
I call it
together, and a
G3
lot
for
of us are
short. And by the
parents,
way, I have
and
the most amazing
you know,
logo
there
that
are parents that
Marky
actually have
Talks had
children
created for
who
me.
have gone to some of
And
these
I love
local
it. It's so
hospitals
beautiful.
for
I get
Children's Miracle
compliments on it
Network
all the time.
hospitals, and their children are
But yeah,
alive
so I have my
today
G3 force,
because
and
people
you know,
have
we're a small
donated
but mighty
money,
team, but we all
and
get together,
they were
and a
able to
lot of
get
us are parents, and
the
you know, there
medications
are
and the
parents that
surgeries that
actually
they
have
needed,
children
and so
who
that
have
just
gone to some of
was
these
the most
local
meaningful
hospitals
thing to
for
me, and
Children's
I will
Miracle Network
never ever
hospitals, and
ever
their
ever ever
children are
stop doing
alive
it because it
today
just brings me so
because
much
people have
happiness.
donated
I love it
money,
so much.
and they were able to get the medications and the surgeries that they needed, and so that just was the most meaningful thing to me, and I will never ever 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 stop doing
Every
it
day in
because
my
it just
life, I
brings
talk to
me
myself
so
doing
much
everything.
happiness. I love it so much.
Sarah, you're also not only do you talk to yourself in your car, but you also
Every day in my life, I talk to myself doing everything.
Yeah. So do I. I talk to myself a lot, and then I check my palms, see if there's any hairs growing. So because you also have spoken on you've been a keen a speaker on women's
So,
platforms and on
honestly, like I was like
NFT
shitting a brick
NYC.
every day
How
up until
and
the day it
others.
actually
Can you?
happened.
How
And
did
like
that
Alyssa
feel,
can
Sarah?
attest to
Did
this.
that
And I was like, oh my God,
did
I don't
that
know what I'm going to
feel
do.
like
I
a
don't know what I'm
really
going to do.
heavy
What am I going to talk about?
responsibility, or
Holy
did
shit,
you
oh my
enjoy
God.
it?
Because let me tell you, like, there's nothing
So,
worse than like having to think about what I like answering questions. I'm obviously, you can probably tell I'm like, but I was like, holy shit, like, am I going to forget the question? What am I going to actually talk about? Like, and I start to give myself a panic attack for no damn reason. But let me tell you, my car eased me right into it because my car actually broke down in a parking garage while I was supposed to take the ferry over to New York City. And I was like, you know what? Like any other day, like, why the fuck did it have to happen today? And I was like, it's fine. I'm good. And I let that go to the ocean, as my friend Carrie would say, and I took the damn ferry over, and I had a nice lunch with Alyssa and B and Ron, and I like literally was not the weirdest thing. I was not nervous. It was the most enjoyable experience. I had so much fun. I mean, look, here's the one thing that NFT NYC did us dirty. They put us on the last day at like late-ish afternoon, like mid to late afternoon. That was kind of shitty. Probably tells you everything you need to know how they feel about women in this space. But I gave no shits. Alyssa gave no shits. We were there to party, man, and it was the best experience. And like honestly, I feel like I was meant to be like this this isn't
late
supposed to like
afternoon. That
sound
was
cocky,
kinda
but I feel
shitty.
like a little
Probably
ugly
tells you
saying it.
everything you
But
need
I'm
to
like,
know.
I love,
How I
like,
feel
I
about
think
women
having a
on the streets, that
microphone in
I
my
gave no
hand and like
shits.
being on
Melissa
stage
gave
is
no shits.
something
We
that
were
I
there. We
maybe
were there
have,
at the party,
like,
man.
that might be
And it
my
was the
calling.
best
It
experience.
might be
And
my
like
calling, and
honestly,
I just,
I feel like
I
I was
loved it
meant
so
to
much.
be
I
like
can't wait to
this.
do it again.
This
It may
isn't
not be
supposed
at
to like sound cocky,
NFTNYC,
but I
but you
feel
know
like a
what?
little
Who
ugly
knows?
saying it. But I'm
Who
like,
knows? It was
I
the most
love like I
amazing,
think
most
having a
fun
microphone in my hands and
experience,
like
and
being
I
on stage
loved
is something that
every
I
stinking
maybe have
second of it,
like
except
it
for
might
when
be
my
my
car broke
calling.
down. But it
It
was
might be
fine.
my calling, and I loved it so much. I can't wait to do it again. It may not be at NFT NYC, but you know what? Who knows? Who knows? It was the most amazing, most fun experience, and I loved every stinking second of it, except for when my car broke down. But it was fine.
New to
Yeah,
Twitch sent a
but
message
it's
about
awakened something
donating.
inside you,
Oh,
Sarah, I think as well.
thanks,
I'm
Ugg.
exactly the same as you know from VCon. The minute I'm getting a
I
microphone
gotta
in my
look.
hand,
I don't have my
I
stream
just
open. I just have the
turn
chat, so I
into
can't
Whitney
see the
Houston, God rest her
messages.
soul.
But
So I understand. I
remind
get
me,
it.
friend.
But for you,
Everybody here is getting a POAP, by the way.
obviously presented the opportunity where you've awakened and you thought, you know what, I can do this. I want to do this.
New
I
alert.
can
Check
add
this out, you
value.
guys.
I've got content, and you know the very fact that what you said about NFT NYC,
Check it out.
we're
It's
here to
like
change
totally
that.
not
You
working.
know, the vaginas started this revolution where we want to change it. We have so many skill sets.
I'm gonna
we
get
can
you
bring.
POAP.
We will add value, and you know we talked about, and it's something I'm going to speak about in the Pearls of Wisdom. We talk about loving yourself. People always say, "Oh, love yourself, love yourself. That's the best thing you can do." Yes, it fucking is the best thing you can do, and by loving yourself, it enables us to have the confidence with our friends, linking arms with Alyssa and Valerie and Natalie and all the other people that were up
Who'da
speaking there.
thunk it?
It
Who'da
enables
friggin'
us
thunk it? I
to
was like,
have
yeah,
that
man, let me just switch
opportunity, and
hands.
what we
Like,
do
I
with that
was like,
opportunity
how
is
did
we
I know how to
fucking
do
run
that
with
shit?
it,
But
and we
thank you,
share it.
Pam.
So hats off to you. You love the feel of a microphone. I'm right behind you.
Who'da thunk it? Who'da friggin' thunk it? I was like,
Peach
yeah,
Iced
man,
Tea
let me
G
just
feels
switch
so good,
hands.
by
Like,
the way.
I was like, how did I know how to do that shit? Thank you, Pam.
Oh, hey, girl.
You're very welcome, Miss Peg. Do we have will we open up
Hey,
to
hey.
our audience for
Open
questions?
it up. We have a couple. Our first person is Esther.
does.
Witchy Bits.
Hey,
Esther.
girl.
Hello, hello. Hi, Sarah.
Hey,
I feel like
hey.
it's been so long already since I've talked to you. I know it was just VCon, but still feels like a really, really long time ago.
It does.
I don't know that I have a question in particular, but I just wanted to say that it's so cool to hear you talk about, you know, women in video gaming, etc. And I was kind of giggling in the background when there was the talk about like the neck beards and how like there's a certain almost like stigma associated with being a video gamer, so to speak. And I just wanted to say that I love hearing you talk about it because you can tell that you're super passionate about it and unapologetic about it, which is what I love the most. Because listen, my mom used to show me love by getting me video games. Like I've had the Super Nintendo, the PS1, and I've never not had a PlayStation. Like I always upgrade to the next one. I'm turning 36 next April. I have a PS5. I've sunk like 500 plus hours into video games just like in the last couple years alone. So it's like I love meeting other people that are also into video games and are women and adult women nonetheless. And for whatever reason, we get a lot of flack for that, which I don't understand because it is a form of escapism. Like instead of me going out and getting drunk or doing, you know, drugs or whatever, like I do video gaming instead. Like that's how I escape when I'm stressed out, or that's how I like get my mind
I just
off
got
of
into
things
anime.
when things are not going right. And anime too. Like I know from looking at your stories and stuff like that that you and your daughter are really into anime as well. And I'm like, I've been watching anime since I was like,
Aw, I love you
14 or
too.
something, and I never quite stopped. By the way, the anime on The Witcher that was on Netflix earlier this year.
I love
fucking
you.
amazing. If
So,
haven't watched
you
it
know,
yet,
it's really
highly
funny when you
recommend.
talk about stigma too, because I'll tell
I
you.
love you so much.
My
And I
now,
you too.
interestingly enough, my family never judged me for gaming because we all gamed. Okay, we were all like degens, right? The gaming degens, you guys.
I love you.
But my
So,
friends were like,
you know,
"What the
it's really
fuck
funny
is
when
the
you talk
matter
about
with you? Like,
stigma
you don't
too,
want to
because
go out and
I'll
you don't
tell
want to
you,
party?" And I'm like, "No, man. Like, I'm cool. Like,
now,
I'm
interestingly enough,
I'm
my
gonna like
family
sit
never
here
judged me
and
for
kick some
gaming
nerds'
because we all
asses
gamed.
and you
Okay,
know
we were
in
all like
battlegrounds. So
degens, right?
like
The
you know,
gaming
at me
degens,
later,
you guys.
but people
But
would
my
get so
friends were
pissed
like,
off at
"What
me.
the
Like my
fuck
one
is the
friend
matter
would
with
just
you? Like, you
judge
don't
me
want
out
to
the
go
ass.
out
She'd
and
be
you don't
like,
want to
"You're
party?" And I'm like,
what's
"No,
wrong
man.
with you?
Like,
Like
I'm
that's
cool.
so
Like,
stupid.
I'm gonna
It's
like
so
sit here
stupid.
and
Why would you play
kick some
games?
nerds'
And so I'm
asses
just
in,
kind of like, you know
in
what?
Battlegrounds.
It
So,
rolls
like,
right off my
you know,
back.
at
It
me
doesn't even
later.
bother
But
me because at the end
people
of the
would
day,
get
I'm
so
doing
pissed off
something
at
that
me.
makes
Like,
me
my one
happy.
friend
I don't
would
need
just
to make
judge
people
me out the
understand
ass.
it.
She'd be like,
And that's what I
what's
think,
wrong
you
with you?
know,
Like,
for
that's
me, I
so
was like, once I got
stupid.
over that
It's
hump,
so
it
stupid.
was
Why would
all
you play
smooth sailing
games?
from
And so
there.
I'm just kind of like, you know what? It rolls right off my back. It doesn't even bother me because at the end of the day, I'm doing something that makes me happy. I don't need to make people understand it. And that's what I think, you know, for me, I was like, once I got over that hump, it was all smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, same. I mean, my mom
Yep.
still to this day, she's like, "You spent how much on that thing?" Like pointing
Yep.
to the PS5, and I was like, "Well, I got it for value, so it's not like I paid an extraordinary amount of money because you know how like people are trying to sell them on eBay and stuff for like $300 extra or whatever." And like she'll
Yep.
come over to the house and I'll be playing video games and my husband has to open the door because I'm in the middle of a battle and I can't fucking pause it because if I pause it, I lose my mojo and then I'm gonna
It's
lose
fun.
it. And she's like, grown ass adults still playing video games, huh? And I just kind of like
Yep.
look back at her
Yep.
and I'm like, yeah, probably till the day I die or until I have so much arthritis in my knuckles that I can't play it.
Pry
It's
it
fun.
from a cold dead hand. That's a game. It sounds like a gamer to me.
NF tampons.
So next up we have Kat from
That's
South
right, it
Florida.
does.
Next up NFT tampons ETH. Okay, so NF tampons. Sorry about that, ETH.
NF tampons.
Hello, yes, NF tampons. No need for the extra syllable. Rolls off the tongue a
That's
little
right, it does.
that way.
Oh, do you have a question for Sarah?
Yes, I do. I
No, is it
wanted
like
to
a
ask,
role
'cause
play
I
game? What
heard
kind of
you
game is it?
mention a game that I used to play. I wanted to know if you'd ever heard of or played Maple Story.
No, is it like a role play game? What kind of game is it?
It is in that sense of like RuneScape, whereas there's like
Maple Story. Has anyone heard
different
of that? I
like
haven't heard of that.
jobs and you can make guilds. You can fight monsters. They have like slimes, mushrooms. Um, yeah, it's one
That
of
is
those.
so
As a matter of
funny.
fact,
I
it's
haven't
like,
heard of it, but I'll tell
because
you what. I'll have
especially
to run
since
it
you're a
by my
gamer, you
boss,
understand how
aka
like
my daughter, because that
Web3
kid
and
knows
like the
all these
metaverse
games.
and gamifying
And
tokens and
like
things like that
this is what
are
it's come
almost
down
like
to, guys. Is
renditions
like
of
I have to
things
check
that
with my daughter and
gamers
be
have
like,
been
hey
doing for
man, can you like
decades.
show me how to do this shit? Because I don't
That
know
is
how to
so
do it
funny.
anymore.
I
So I'll
haven't
have
heard
to
of it,
check
but
with the
I'll tell you what,
boss.
I'll have to run it by my
But it
boss,
sounds
aka
really
my
cool. It
daughter,
sounds
because
really
that
fun. I'll have
kid
to
knows
look
all
into
these
it.
games.
Can you get it like on
Like
Steam or
this is what
where
it's
can
come
you get
down
it?
to, guys. Is like I have to check with my daughter and be like, hey man, can you like show me how to do this shit? Because I don't know how to do it anymore. So I'll have to check with the boss. But it sounds really cool. It sounds really fun. I'll have to look into it. Can you get it like on Steam or
I can't look
where
at the
can you get
message
it?
right now, man.
It was
Did you send it to me on Twitter?
online. It was an online game. You
Because I
would
can't log
download the
into Twitch
game,
right now.
launch the server, and pretty much like connect to this global network of players from all around the world. It was a Korean game. It was mainly a Korean game, but yeah, just hearing your
I don't want to
story
make
and just really resonated
$1,000,
with
but
it.
thank
Like
you.
I was a student
I
athlete,
appreciate
and
you.
so like a lot of my friends weren't gamers like that. They played like 2K and
Appreciate
stuff,
you, man.
but like sports games, but like games where you can like build like level up from like level 0 to like level 200 and like make friends and go on missions and like gather different materials or like have like a special kind of weapon that is just exclusive
Well,
or you know like
you may not like my
those
taste
kinds of
now, to
games
be honest
always
with you,
resonated with
because
me. I always
I
enjoyed
got
them.
so sick of WoW when
I
they
was an
did the
anime
last
head as
expansion. I
well,
said,
so
F
like
this
just
game.
really
And I
resonate
actually started
with
playing
your
console.
selection
And
of
I know
taste.
people are like, oh my God, like you play console?
Yeah.
How can you go from PC to console?
Well,
Well,
you
guess
may
what,
not-
bitch? I do
You may
both.
not like my
But
taste now, to
I
be
actually
honest with you,
started to get into
because,
Apex
I got
Legends
so
and
sick of
Overwatch.
WoW
I
when they did the
love
last
Overwatch
expansion. I
so
said, "F
much.
this
So
game,"
Apex Legends
and
and
I actually
Overwatch. I'm
started
about to
playing console.
hopefully
And I know
soon
people
get
are
the
like, "Oh my God,
Overwatch
like, you
2
play
beta,
console? How
which
can you
would
go
be
from
super
PC to
cool. And I just
console?"
started
Well,
to get
guess
into
what, bitch? I
Paladin.
do
So those
both.
are like
But
the 3
I
main
actually
games I'm
started to
pretty
get
much
into
into right
Apex
now.
Legends and Overwatch. I love Overwatch so much. So
Yeah.
Apex Legends and Overwatch. I'm about to hopefully soon get the Overwatch 2 beta, which would be super cool. And I just started to get into Paladin. So those are like the 3 main games I'm pretty much
Yep.
into right now.
Yeah, Maple Story was like that, where each like job or class of yes, classes. They had different classes, and each class has like a special ability and power.
That's so wow.
And because
Yep.
like all those games that you're talking about are kind of like Call of Duty, but they add that aspect of having a special ability. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm going to war. No, it's more like I'm from a different faction. I'm like from this particular planet.
That's so wow. Yep.
And we're like extinct, and I might be
Same.
the last one, and I'm super powerful, and so like here we are fighting for the survival of our civilization or whatnot. And so like
Hey, thanks,
I'm not
man. I
preference on
appreciate that. I'm gonna have to
console or
go
PC.
check into
Personally,
that game.
I like
I'll
a
ask my
controller
brother
in my
about it
hand.
too. Thank you so much.
I don't know
Same.
why. I like a controller in my hand. So yeah, trust me. All love. You're good. Still green in my book.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to go check into that game. I'll ask my brother about it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if I see, I'm not. And if tampons.e. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you,
Kat. Kat, I really enjoyed space in Vagina Space. I'm excited that you're here, and you have a question for Sarah?
I do.
Aww.
I love you so much.
Oh, I love you, Kat.
You're so sweet.
You're literally the person I like. There was two people I like actually burst into tears when I saw you at VCon, and you were one of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know.
So I love you, girls, and I'm stoked to be here. Sarah, dude, seriously, I'm a Sarah fan. I love watching your stuff. I love watching you move. Pitfall, what? Yep.
I know.
Oh man.
I was a total Atari girl. I was like a Journey nut. I used to like just play that thing over and over. You know, the whole beginning of it. But I want to hear more about your Twitch because I'm super interested in it. And I want to know how you fare because I'm definitely I'm if not the oldest, one of the older people in my community in my Discord. I love being fairy godmother to everybody, but it's
wow.
You're one of the few.
Yeah.
Like,
so here's the cool thing about Twitch though right now. So first, I think that they've made some improvements for people to get more organic reach. So I think what they've started to do is to get, streamers who don't have a huge, tremendous following. They've been actually giving them front page, which is really, really nice.
About Twitch, though, right now. So
I've
first,
never been kind of like a
that
number person, although I was very happy when I got affiliate. That was very cool. But I think what I had going for me at the time is that because I was doing a lot of extra life, I had already made a lot of friends in the gaming community, and they just naturally gravitated to we all support each other like we do very much in like the Web3 space. Like I always say, there's so many parallels between the two like little universes. There's a lot that happens that's very very similar. So I think it's really great if you have a smaller community of people. I've never been the kind of person that's played like the most popular game. Like you can probably go onto the Twitch landing page right now and see like the most popular games played, and there's probably Call of Duty, and then whatever is flavor of the month. And at the end of the day, I play what makes me happy, because and I talked about it earlier with Pam, is like, if you log in and you're playing something that is just total ass, like why would you want to waste your time doing that? And people can tell, like even if you're not on camera, they can tell if you're not like excited or happy about the thing that you're playing. So my best advice to anybody who wanted to get on there and stream is, if you want to do just chatting, do it. Do whatever, have a conversation. Like if you get 1 or 0 people, who cares? Like if you want to go live and you just want to get it out there, it's like liberating. You don't need to have 1,000 viewers. You don't need like 1 viewer, whatever. At the end of the day, if it brings you happiness, that's what it's all about. Pick, if you want a game, pick a game that makes you very, very happy, that you actually enjoy playing. And so I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is just do you, whatever it is that makes you the most happy, and you want to share it with the world, put it out there. Put it out there on every platform. Do Twitch, do Instagram, do whatever it is. Also, by the way, so that everybody knows, I'm not ashamed of my age, but I'm pushing 50. I am going to be 48 actually in a couple months. And people are like, oh my God, like you don't look your age, or I can't believe people in your age group still play video games. Yeah, by the way, like there are no limits to there's no age. I almost said there's no age in baseball. There's no age in gaming. Just kind of like it is in Web3.
Like, oh my God, like
And that's
look
kind
your
of
age,
something,
or,
gaming
I
keeps
can't
me
believe
young.
people in your age group still
It
play
kind of
video
keeps
games.
me
Yeah,
young
by
too.
the way,
So
like there are no limits to.
yeah, do
there's
what
no
makes you
age.
happy. It's like
Also,
oil
there's
of
no age
Olay
in
for the
baseball.
soul.
There's
You
no
know what
age
I'm
in
saying?
gaming.
So go
Just
for it.
kind of
Go
like it
for
is
it,
in
baby.
Web3.
And thank you.
And that's kind of something. Gaming keeps me young. It kind of keeps me young too. So
I definitely understand that.
yeah, do what makes you happy. It's like oil of Olay for the soul. You know what I'm saying? So
I
go
love it.
for it.
Hey,
Go for
Sarah
it,
with an
baby.
H, baby.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Kat. We have one last speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah. So happy to see you, Sarah.
Hey guys, hey Sara LuvJones.
Hey, Sarah with an H, baby.
Yeah. So here, my Siri's going off now. Must have heard all the Sarahs and thought.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my question: besides all of the amazing
What is the best
people
thing?
and friendships that you've made,
That
in
is
the
like a
gaming
loaded ass
space
question.
or
I
the
don't.
NFT space, what
I guess I
is
kind of
the
spoke to it
best
earlier.
thing
Is just kind
for
of like
you in this space, gaming or NFT space?
something that I feel like I've kind of been good at.
What is
that
the
I that I'm
best thing?
it's kind of my sweet spot is like I can see if
That
somebody
is
might
like a
be having
loaded
like
ass question.
challenges
I
or
don't.
somebody's not comfortable with
I
something,
guess I
and
kind of
I
spoke
feel
to it
like I don't
earlier.
know,
It's just
maybe
kind of
my goal
like
in life, and maybe people don't want it, but I don't care because I'm
something
gonna do
that
it
I feel like
anyway.
I've kind of been good at.
My
That
favorite
I'm.
thing
It's kind of my sweet spot. Is
is
like I can
introducing
see if
somebody to
somebody
something
might be
that
having like
they
challenges
were
or
maybe
somebody's
like
not
very
comfortable with
scared or
something, and
not
I
like
feel like
comfortable
I don't
with,
know,
and just
maybe my goal in life, and
kind of
maybe
like
people don't want
holding
it, but I
their
don't care
hand
because I'm
through
gonna
it.
do it anyway.
You know, like that soft kind of like
My favorite
onboarding. And
thing
I use the word onboarding a
is
lot, but like
introducing
just kind of
somebody to
holding people's
something
hands
that
through it. Like I'm
they
very
were
patient.
maybe like very
I know you
scared
probably
or
can't tell
not
because
like
like, you know,
comfortable
I'm
with,
from New
and
Jersey or
just
whatever, but I love
kind of
taking
like
time and
holding their
like
hand through
answering
it.
people's
You know,
questions.
like that soft
And
kind of
there
like
literally,
onboarding. I use the word onboarding
there
a lot,
really
but
is no
like just
stupid
kind of
question
holding
ever.
people's
I
hands
love
through it.
just
Like I'm very
taking
patient.
time and
I know you
teaching
probably can't
people
tell
and
because like
showing them how to
you're
do
from New
things,
Jersey or whatever, but
and in a
I
way
love
that kind
taking
of just
time and like
makes sense
answering people's
for them.
questions.
And I
there
will not stop trying until the person
there
is
really is no
100%
stupid
comfortable
question
with it
ever.
is
I
what they're
love
doing. And
just taking
that's like my
time
most favorite
and
thing.
teaching people and showing them how to do things, and in a way that kind of just makes sense
Love you
for
back.
them. And I will not stop trying until the person is 100% comfortable with it is what they're doing. And that's like my most favorite thing.
Love you, Sara.
Thanks, Sarah.
Love you back.
We had one more person join who has to talk to Sarah. And
Hello,
Natalie,
Lovey.
come on up. We're running a little bit late, so we're going to take Natalie, and then we're going to do Pam's Pearls of Wisdom and my astrological weather for the Web3 space. Natalie.
Oh, thank you so much for taking me. Sarah, hello.
Hello, Lovey.
Hello. Oh my gosh. I think that the other Sarah set me up for what my question was. Okay, so my son is just, I'm a I respect gaming so much. I had a lot of athletes. I had a Brainiac and I had 4 kids. And then I had my gamer. And do you know that kid? He did not go to college. He didn't do well in community college. But he played games his whole life, and he went to work at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, and they gave him a
I love that.
walkie-talkie and a headphones, and he went from a runner to a manager, and I promise you it was because of his gaming experience. So
I love that.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for, people finding their own ways and not necessarily the traditional way. And, he would study his phone and look at the numbers. He's like, oh, we're going to get killed tonight. And then he'd know where to move people, which theaters, what movies, blah, blah, blah. So, but he's also, speaking of the games,
Oh,
I was just talking to him and I said, wouldn't
I'll
it be
help.
fun if you were to stream, like
Yeah.
to do Twitch or no, Twitch? Is that what it is?
I'm happy to help.
And
I'm not a pro by any
and so
means,
he
but
doesn't know how to get
if
set
somebody
up.
needs any
So I
help
didn't
getting
know.
some
I was
basics
thinking,
set up, and I also have a lot of friends
Sarah,
that can help
maybe I
too.
could.
I'll help.
So we can we can do
Yeah,
like
that
a
would be
whole team
awesome. And
thing.
of
Yeah,
Yeah,
course, I would
absolutely.
be willing to pay you in some way.
I'm happy to help. I'm not
You
a pro
know.
by any
I'm
means,
happy to
but
do that.
if
And you
somebody
know what?
needs any
I
help
love
with
what you
getting
said
some
about like
basics
putting on
set
the
up, and
headset
I
and the
also have a lot of
walkie-talkie,
friends
and
that can help
I'll
too.
tell you this too. So
Oh,
for
that's
anybody
cool.
that
Like,
doesn't
we can
know,
do like a
I
whole
have a
team
restaurant
thing. Yeah,
background.
Okay.
So
absolutely.
I worked
That'd
in a
be cool.
restaurant
So I just
for
think you're the right
like 14
personality
years before I got my
for
quote unquote
him.
real
I'm happy
job,
to do that.
right?
And
In an office
I
building.
love
And
what you said about like putting on
and
the
it's
headset,
really
the
funny
walkie-talkie,
because
and I'll tell
when
you
I
this
would
too. So
hire
for
new
anybody that
people,
doesn't
I would
know,
look to see if they
I
had
have a
restaurant
restaurant background.
experience.
So I
Because
worked in a
you damn well
restaurant
know that if
for
you're from a
like
restaurant, you can
14
handle
years
any
before I
damn
got
thing
my
under the
quote
sun. done. Like you
real
have to be
job,
king or
right,
queen of
in an office
multitasking,
building.
and you got to move
And
quick,
it's
and you got to
really
be versatile, and you got to be
because
malleable,
when
and you
I
got to
would
be able to do
hire new
shit on the
people,
fly, and
I
you
would look
also
to
have
see
to,
if they had
keep a
restaurant
smile on your face, but also not take any
because you
shit.
damn well
And I
know
feel
that if
like
you're from a restaurant,
there's a
you
lot of
can
that in
handle any damn
gaming,
thing under
like
the sun.
especially
You
like
have to
when you
be
are
king or
doing those
queen of
types of things, like you have to
multitasking.
be able to
And you
make
gotta move
quick
quick, and you
decisions,
gotta be
and you
versatile,
got to
and
have
you gotta be
quick
malleable, and you
reflexes,
gotta be
and
able to do
people
shit
are
on the
actually
fly. And you also
starting to
have to,
put their
keep a smile on
gaming
your face, but
experience
also
on
not take any shit.
resumes.
And I feel like
Because if you can
there's
run
a
a
lot of that in
guild of
gaming,
thousands
like
and thousands
especially
of
like
people and
when
get
you are
that shit
doing those
together
types
and
of
run
things, and you
events,
have to be able to make quick
you can
decisions, and
probably
you gotta
manage a
have quick
team.
reflexes.
So
And people
that's,
are
I really
actually
like
starting to
that
put
you,
their
I just
gaming
dovetailed into
experience
that one. I
on
love that.
resumes. Because if you can run a guild of thousands and thousands of people and get that shit together and run events, you can probably manage a team. So I really like I just dovetailed into that one. I love that.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. But I know we're running out of time, and thank you so much. Great show tonight, Pam and Peg and Sarah.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Natalie.
Natalie.
We
Thank you,
had more
gorgeous.
people who wanted to come up. We had more
I
people
know.
that wanted to come up, but we are running over. So so Pam,
Yes.
we're awaiting your pearls of wisdom for tonight.
Yeah, I just wanted to this week I'm gonna break it down, right? I'm gonna do a Pearls of Wisdom series today. I'm starting it today. It's gonna run over probably 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm gonna talk about something that I think that took me Sarah, you're a young chicken. I'll be 50 in what date's today? What date's today? It is the 7th. I'll be 50 in 14 days. Oh my fucking god. Anyway, moving on. I was talking to my auntie the other day back home, and she was saying, "Can you believe it? I was there when you were born." I was like, "Right, TMI." So, pearls of wisdom. Ways of loving yourself. It is a phrase we hear a lot. It is something I firmly believe in. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and use this space to give a wee bit of my life experience, but also how to do things. Because it's all right me sitting here saying, "Oh, do this, do that," but if I don't give tips, or if I don't give advice, or something tried and tested, it's I'm wasting air. So what I'm going to try and do for moving on here in the future is
Pam
try
is
and
so
give you
sweet. I love
actually
her pearls of
practical
wisdom.
things that you can do. Okay, different
I
ways
agree
you
with
can
her.
love yourself, because if you can love yourself, and it's
Yeah.
something I swear to God, I believe hand on heart, it's something they should teach in schools. They need to be teaching this in schools, whether it's life skills or whether it's to actually love yourself, because a lot of us are conditioned on the circumstances we're brought up on, in the financial background, in the culture, in the race, whatever it is, in
Yes.
the war zones or the troubles that we've gone through as a country. So a lot of people go through different things. So I think they should do this in schools. And I think the way to change
Cat
the future
Heart, she's
is
so
by
sweet.
educating our children and empowering them.
I'm
So
still on Twitter Spaces, guys,
this is not
too.
an easy process. I think I can tell you, I only started truly loving myself, I would say, in the last 3 years. And I'm coming up 50, and I don't want that for everybody else. So loving yourself is not all about having the perfect body, hitting the gym, and spoiling yourself with all the gifts and the luxury handbags. It's not. It's not. It is self-love is something different. It's loving the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. When you get into a relationship, they say, "Oh,
If
you have to love your
anybody
friends,
that's
warts and
here
all,"
in this
and
live wants to ask any questions, you can
need to
ask
look
them
in a
here,
mirror when you
or
say
I'm
things
going
like
to
that,
go
because
live
that's what you have
on
to do to
Friday.
yourself first. You have to really
Culture of
try.
Gaming live on Friday.
And the first way of doing that, right, and this is what I have found, it is surround yourself with the right bloody people. Find those people who are positive. Find those people that you vibe with. And, without you being aware of it, the people you surround yourself with affect your ability to love yourself. So
Live.
I always go with my gut. And this is the first one. I'm going to give you 3 today, and I'll do 3 next week, and so on. If you're always surrounded with negativity and negative people, it's only, I call them mood hoovers. They suck the living daylights out of me, and I've got nothing. I can't bite my finger. I have nothing to give anybody. So I really now have the luxury of being able to avoid people like that. And I really try to surround myself with people who I feel like it's as if I'm one of them Care Bears where you had remember you give to the kids, and the heart lit up inside when you turned it on, and the Care Bear was like, "I love you, I love you." So now I surround myself with
love
people
Pam.
who do that for me, who encourage me, who know that I wish them no ill. I would help anybody, and I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. I'm here to make life better for as many people as I come into contact with, and that's what I'm doing. So that's the first one, okay? Surround yourself with the right people. It's not always easy because at work or your situation, but just try. Just try and see if it doesn't feel right. There's nothing wrong with cutting
My
people
daughter
in your
just
life. I'm going to
texted
tell
me
you
that
now.
she's hungry.
Family or not, there's nothing wrong with it. The second one is let go of your past.
Oh, I forget Pam's in Australia. It's like 10 a.m. there.
If you're always going to a place where the pain is and the hurt is and the anger is. Thank you so much. You cannot. I'm sorry, the postman came and I'm just getting on it. So you cannot dwell on things that happened. And I always say to and I have had some doozies, I can tell you, where I've had to forgive people who hurt me like really, really badly. Who, when you wake up in the morning, you feel the pain in your heart, and you have to let it go, because realize that your past simply belongs there. It's called past for a reason, and you deserve to let it go, every single ounce of it. It doesn't control you, and it's the key to loving yourself better, because you know what, we put such high standards on ourselves. I always think I have to be the best at everything. I have to do everything right.
I added 4 new alerts, you guys. Check this out.
And it's not the case. It's not the case. The minute I let go,
Get my Poe app. Obviously, you saw that, but I'm going to do it again.
I let go,
Get my Poe app.
started to happen, and I felt better mentally and physically. Number 3, massive one for me, huge. It started with my daddy.
I have to actually take a screenshot.
Don't find validation from others. I think I've talked about this before. In order to practice self-love, like I love Pamela, I have to stop seeking validation from others. At the end of the day, I'm driving. I've got the steering wheel of my life, and nobody else, holds the clutch or the controls other than me. If you live your life finding validation from others, it will cost you your happiness. You will pay for it with your happiness, and believe you me, it's not a great trade-off. It's not. My husband. I credit my husband.
Other listeners. I'm such a dork.
Right?
Oh, and I also have
my daddy. When I was growing up, if I came
Culture
into
of
school and
Gaming.
said, "Daddy, I got 99% my test," and he said, "What happened to the other 1%?" I went through life
and then I
overachieving. Anything I did, I overachieved. I had to achieve, because I felt that was the only way I was.
And then I have another one that I forget what it is.
Going to get recognition if I was the best.
What is my other chat command?
So, and do you know what that did for me too?
Oh, Extra Life.
Very honest, I ended up with an eating disorder as a young woman, because this is what my friends were doing. And I wanted validation from them. So that's what I did. And for me, I still didn't get the message that it's not important. And I only learned that when I met my husband. And now you may hear me, if you spend any time with me at all, you will hear me saying, I don't care what other people think of me. I genuinely don't. I don't just say that. I don't give a shit. I don't care, because you know what? It's none of my fucking business. Does it pay my bills? Does it make me feel good in the morning? Does it enable me to achieve things that I set my mind to? No, it does not. It doesn't matter. It's nice, but it's not essential to your happiness, and it's certainly not essential to your self-love. So I'm going to share examples. I'm going to share practical things that you can do, and maybe hopefully, and my only purpose in doing this is to inspire somebody somewhere to maybe, start learning to love themselves again.
I love this astrological weather. Let's listen.
Today, and I'll continue on with them next week. Over to you, Miss.
What's coming for us?
Thank you, Pam. Somehow you always parallel the astrological weather, and thanks so much. Yes, that's really great advice, and really start loving yourself. That's what it's all about. We can't just give lip service to that and just say that. Really, and that's what we're being asked to do for this week. Okay, like really, there's right now. There's for the month, okay, from the new moon to the next new moon. I mentioned there'll be some like discord, tension. People could be, overall irritable, agitated, annoyed about things, and if you're a person that's
Shit, I've been
overly
irritable as
empathetic
fuck.
and
But I
tend
blamed it
to
on
give
COVID.
yourself over too much to people,
This cough, I
those
hope it
kinds
goes
of
away.
people could drain you right now because you don't have a lot of energy yourself. Okay, for these couple of days, things are going to get better though,
Oh no,
um,
you guys, you
as
hearing this?
Mercury moves forward. Okay, but um, like I said, there's going to be an overall theme of that on and off about people being irritable. So you have to, there could be some serious things, and so uh, you just have to keep your self, uh, know here, let me say, like, you know you have to trust yourself and not take things personally, okay, because these people are having
Ooh,
things
I
that
don't
are
like that.
happening in
I
their
don't like the
lives,
sound of
right,
that at
that
all.
are obviously too much for them, and so don't take things personally, but people could say really bad things to you this month, like something that would last with you, these people that you work with, a
Oh
relative,
shit, the 8th is my brother's
something of
birthday.
that nature, okay, that
Oh,
will
you guys, the 8th.
not sit well with you, but you really just have to flow with it, and because things are going to get better, okay, and so on the 8th, um, you know again, you have to look at yourself and think about some real self love. Okay, not just self care, giving yourself a bath. Okay,
National Video
this is
Game Day,
self
you
love,
guys.
and that
Is
means
this
pulling
Friday,
back
July
sometimes
8th?
from over giving. Like I
Wednesday,
was
Thursday. Yeah,
saying,
Friday, July 8th.
in the time of cancer, there's a time of families and mothering and
Shoot.
all of that, and
We're gonna go
people that
live at 8
tend
p.m.
to overgive, will do it in this season here, and with everyone hurting so badly, you have to really watch that your own energy is
Oh, my
not
stomach
sapped,
hurts.
and that you can be a whole, like, fill your cup so that you can help others, um, on their journey. So on by the 8th though, okay, your mental outlook is really happy and and broad, and you can start to plan your future, but you should not plan too tightly. If you remember, I said last week to leave some room. Okay, don't pack your schedule and things like that. And you should be a little bit more easygoing right now. Enjoy the summer with your family. Pam's already going into winter, but if you're over here, enjoy your summer with your family at this time. So um, on Sunday 7/10, okay, it's a really spontaneous day. Um, there's a lot of new things, good things can happen for you on that day, like spontaneous things. Um, Tuesday the 12th, okay, is perfect for making business
I
commitments.
like this.
If you have a business deal culminating, your profits are likely to grow in a slow and steady way. So, like, if you take your time
Oh, they
and really
changed.
look at things that this is a slow time, like you're saying,
Rev.gg.
where you could avoid conflict and just have your head down and build, right, and you will have increased financial security, okay, if you do things right. On the 7/13, it's the full moon. Okay, we have Capricorn full moon, and there could be unexpected news, but it may be good. So there are other planets at play, which are going to upend some things coming this month. But
I
things are
am
upbeat
irritable
overall, and like
sometimes.
I said, you know, you're beautifully supported by the universe, and so some of these things, um, meeting up with irritable people that right now, like I was saying to you, not to take things personally, just going through those things and writing them out. Now, I'm not saying bite your tongue, okay, but if and that's something else. Right now, communication. Right now, you should approach people really simple and clear. Okay, no overthinking.
It's gonna be a hard one
Um,
for me.
and so, therefore, you could approach a person who is draining you like that, but keep it in that manner. Like I'm saying to you, no overly, nothing overly emotional. Okay, so when we get to the Capricorn full moon, we have some, like I said, some comments can be misleading, and so
JT
like I was
Barnett
telling
is
you, keep the
amazing, you guys.
communication simple and clear. So that's up to the 13th, and next week we have JT Barnett, and we're really excited about JT Barnett. He's a TikToker. He has over 1 million people on TikTok, and he's now he now has a ticket. He now has a TikTok agency where you can receive texts from him, and he pairs you up with brands. So like Sarah was saying, with different different places like TikTok, like they take all your money. Well, he pairs you with particular brands, and you'd be very surprised if you look at his media on Instagram or TikTok about what brands are looking for, and you can make a lot of money right now. So we're excited to have him. Get your questions ready for JT Barnett, and you'll see over this week. We'll be posting things about him, and so you could get to know him more. And Sarah, thank you so much. I love you personally, right, deeply, and
Aww.
I thank you for everything that you do. Especially with women,
Pam's getting her
in the
mail.
Web3 space, gaming space. And I'm just it's just an honor to know you, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm really happy that you did. Pam?
Pam's getting her
sorry.
mail.
I was trying to have a fucking mic.
I know she loves her husband. She's not with the mailman, so
No, definitely not. Definitely not. The mailman has been and gone, and too short for me. So yes, I just want to say, Peg, I love the astrological weather, and for everybody out there, we do not discuss the one thing we don't discuss. We discuss a lot of other things. Is the pearls of wisdom and the astrological weather. So whatever is happening, whether it's our intuition or whatever it is, but the two tend to be parallel with each other. It's the weirdest thing. Sarah, I love you. I think you're an amazing human being. I want you. I can see amazing things for you in the future. I want you to keep going. You're a shining light for all of us.
I'm doing
and
emojis.
I just want to thank you. It's been you popped your cherry on about that with Pam and Peg, which I will milk for a very long time. And I am so delighted that you're here and you're in this space and you're always bringing value. I want to thank all our regulars. I want to thank people who spend the most expensive commodity that we have, time with us. Please look left, right, up and down. Something I've learned from my wee vaginas. Follow the people you don't know. We've had a lot of new people in the space today, which I'm very grateful for. A lot of Aussies, but also we have NF Tampon. We've got Oz NFT down there, another Australian. And welcome back to Gadget Girl, who's been swiping left and right on her computer. I see the Italian Jason Derulo down there, or sorry, the Spanish. Sorry, I'll get it right. I'll get it right eventually. And I just want to thank you all for spending time with us. Please be kind to each other. Look after yourselves. Hiya, Sal, you legend. And we, Brenda and Natalie, all my beautiful people and my friends. And I don't want to lose anybody moving forward, regardless what the news is or not. We stay together.
I'm excited for next week.
And we will carry this through. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And good night, good morning, wherever you are. We'll see you all, same place next week. You must come next week. This is a massive
I'm excited
coup.
for next week.
Oh,
he's amazing.
Huge coup for us, and huge thanks to Peg for sorting this out, because this is
thank you, ladies, for having me. I love you.
We're going to promote the living daylights out of this, because this is a real big opportunity for everybody,
right.
Not just
the stream is ending here as well, you guys. I just want to thank you for showing. Mongo, love you. Bleeding and ugh.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thanks for
everybody's
everything.
gonna get a POEP. I just have to get it completed, and then I will DM you with it. Okay. Love you.